What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a little science experiment. So over the last couple months there have been some very popular news stories of incidents, mainly on movie sets, involving guns. Alec Baldwin. And all these stories have brought up the debate of live ammo versus blanks. So these are blanks. We have a 9mm on your left and a 5.56 on your right. A blank is basically a cartridge with no bullet. So it gives you the sound and look of a real gunshot with no projectile, which is why they're so popular on movie sets and stuff like that. The problem is, I don't think blanks are as harmless as a lot of people think they are. So today, we're gonna put it to the test. Now, movie sets use blanks to get the gunshot look and effect sometimes, but I don't think they use them for point blank gunshot scenes. In fact, I heard a story of a guy on a movie set who was playing around, put a gun to his grape with a blank in it and pulled the trigger thinking it would be a funny joke and accidentally offed himself. And we've all heard of the Alec Baldwin incident. A lot of people say that if he was using blanks instead of live ammo, no one would have been hurt. Whether or not that's true, we're gonna find out. So I did a video probably a year or two ago testing out blanks and it was cool, but today we're stepping it up because for this one, we've got a ballistic dummy lab human head, probably the most realistic thing we could get to make a video like this. I want to remind everybody this is not graphic or real in any way. It's just ballistics gel, probably an inch thick on the outside, and then underneath that, a skull, and then underneath that, pretty much everything you would find in a real human head. So, can blanks actually do damage or maybe even penetrate a human skull? Let's find out. So obviously at long range, blanks are probably not gonna be harmful at all. So we're gonna start pretty close, probably a foot or two away, and then we'll move in to point blank range and see what happens. We're gonna start with the 22 long rifle, obviously shooting a 22 blank. And this is a tiny little pistol with a really short barrel, so it might do some damage. All right, about 12 inches away with the 22 blank. Let's see what happens. Just a lot of gunpowder on him. And you can see where he got peppered pretty good with all that gunpowder. It would probably burn quite a bit, but really no serious damage. So this is gonna show us skin burns and skeletal damage and stuff like that, but keep in mind, really powerful concussion could probably shut someone's brain off, which obviously this thing won't be able to show us. All right, let's try the same 22 blank, this time at point blank range. Basically touching it. Whoa. Yeah, I think that would definitely do it. So that was a lot more than I expected from the 22, I'm not gonna lie. You can see the hole that it put in that ballistics gel, and hopefully the slow-mo captured it because it definitely broke the skull and shifted it over a couple inches. It doesn't look like it went very deep, but just imagine the damage that would do internally, basically having your head caved in. If it didn't shut the lights out, it would jack you up pretty good. All right, let's step it up to the 9mm blank. We're gonna shoot this one out of my Gen 5 Glock 19. And at first, I thought this one would do way more damage, but after seeing that, I think the shorter barrel might play a bigger role than I thought. Let's see. And again, we'll try it with a 1 foot gap and then we'll go point blank. That feels nothing like a real 9mm. And basically identical to the 22, we've got some powder burns on the surface, but no real damage. Let's get a little closer. Point blank range with a 9mm blank. The 22 did a lot more damage. And there it is, just a bunch of unburnt powder and a slightly more severe burn than we had at 12 inches away, but nowhere near the damage that we got from the 22. So honestly, the 22 blanks felt more powerful all the way around. So maybe these aren't the most powerful 9mm blanks, or maybe it's the size of the gun, but either way, the 22 did a lot more damage. And next up, we're gonna try the 5.56. So we're shooting these out of my Daniel Defense Mark 18. This is the shortest barrel 5.56 that I have, and I know for a fact these are full power blanks. Once again, we're gonna start at about 12 inches away. Definitely less unburnt powder than the two pistols. And I put that one right in between the 9mm and the 22. You can see there's quite a bit less unburnt powder. But it did punch that head pretty hard. Let's try it point blank. Put your guesses in the comments. I don't think it's gonna do as much as the 22, but I hope I'm wrong, honestly. Not bad. So the 5.56 definitely looks the coolest. I assume from the muzzle brake it put like a perfect star shape on the outside of that head, but it did some damage, went pretty deep, and I would say that's about the same as the 22 long rifle. But we can't really tell if that one did as much damage to the skull because I put it right next to the 22. So let's try another one on a different part of the head. So if you can't tell, I'm trying to preserve the other half of the head for a different video. So I'll try this one by the orbital bone. So I doubt you guys are going to be able to see it, but there's actually a hole in that orbital bone from our 5.56 blank, and that one did quite a bit of damage. I would say it's close to the 22 blank, but still didn't do quite as much damage. And ironically, I almost didn't even bring the 22 because I didn't think it would be worth it, and it ended up being the one that did the most damage. So I want to give you guys another close-up look at what the 22 did. Obviously up here is where it got pushed in, but down by the ear is where it split and separated almost all the way around to the back, and it's clearly sunk in probably an inch or two at least. And you can really see the difference when you look at this side compared to that side. So all blanks are not created equal, but I think it's safe to say they could definitely be dangerous or even lethal if used incorrectly. Something else to consider when you're dealing with blanks is the possibility for debris to end up in the barrel. Obviously, if you put a blank in the gun with something stuck in the barrel, it's gonna shoot that out just like it would if it was a real bullet. And also squib loads, which I believe is what killed Brandon Lee. I'm not exactly sure, but a squib load is basically when you shoot an underpowered round, the bullet gets stuck in the barrel, and then you load another one or a blank behind it, and it shoots that bullet out just like it would if it was a live round. Squib loads are very dangerous. They're not too common with factory ammo, but they do happen. And obviously if you put a blank in a gun that has something stuck in the barrel, it's gonna launch it out of there just like a bullet. So blanks are not dummy rounds. They're to be treated with respect, just like live ammo. And as we saw in this video, they can absolutely do some damage. All right, guys, there you have it. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. I'm taking my head and I'm going home. I'm sure a lot of you guys wanted to see me destroy it, but I have something else I wanna do that I think you're gonna enjoy more than if I just unnecessarily blew it apart in this video, although that would be pretty cool. I apologize for the wind. It is freezing cold and extremely windy out here today, and there's really nothing I could do about it, so I hope the audio wasn't too jacked up. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please let me know down in the comments below and tell me some more stories that you've heard about blanks in Hollywood. There's a million cases out there of people getting hurt or even killed, I guess, using blanks improperly, which is sad and unfortunate, but educating people on the topic is probably the best way to prevent it from happening in the future. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button for me, guys. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.